matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's good for 28 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jordan. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Pretty good start there on plays 1 and 2.
And not discriminating at all, is he? Make sure he's spreading it around on the first 2 throws of the game. 2 different parts of the field as well.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. From 10 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions.
No,
right?
2 touchdown passes
Two
last week.
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Desmond King making the tackle. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Switch it. Come on, switch.
Jackson. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
I'd have to say that was a pretty darn good run right there. They had 8 in the box, still able to burn them. They've got to consider themselves lucky they only give up a first down and not a touchdown.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now they'll run it on the toss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. The numbers for Mixon last week, 18 carries, 89 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On the delay, it's Mixon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the loss of 2, here's 2nd and 12 from the 23. Now Joe Mixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Hit it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds his running back, Mixon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. It's a 4-yard pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Back to throw here. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try to get more pressure at the passer.
And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 43-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Back to Mixon on first down. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but Let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down. Jackson, open man is Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. 3 down. 3 down. Mike Bull. Let's go, Abby.
On first and 10, it's Jackson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
Switch.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Sometimes you get just a little over-eager defensively when you've got people backed up because the mentality is to attack, take the ball away, or at worst, just keep them backed up there for your own offense. They actually used their aggressiveness against him on that one and hit him big.
Absolutely. Had him pinned on the 2. Not anymore. On the run, it's Mixon. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Returning it is Moore. A nice little juke. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Coming to you, coming to you. Trump. 59. Mike 59. Watch the car.
Throwing again. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2.
Check, check. Lucky. 36.
From the gun, Jackson. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
On second down, it's Taylor. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Come on, 60 Pittsburgh.
They'll set up a throw. Throw left side complete. It's Jordan. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play.
It's a party now. It's a party now. Ready?
Mixon with a first down carry. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but it's going to be second down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left.
2nd and 10. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Deebo Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Jackson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Jackson now. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 48, the 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Cincinnati defense now. They get ready for the next possession. Jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Watch tight. Watch tight. Tight and straight.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for the Ravens. 47 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
11 more on that one, and another first down. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
The give to Taylor. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being...
And he will score! Touchdown, Baltimore! Lamar Jackson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you... You're going, slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this. And while what's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Oh, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
2nd and 5. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jordan. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Completes it to Samuel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here I come again.
They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Jordan. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On 1st down, Mixon. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down and actually aids the defense in that situation.